This is going to be a bit of a different vlog for me. It's going to be more of like a sit-down chat of me, telling my story of how I learned to backflip my nano bike to the metal ramp at Dyfi in 3 weeks. Because I didn't really actually vlog any of the process of learning the backflip, purely because I wasn't doing it for YouTube, I wasn't doing it for content, I was doing it purely because I really wanted to do it myself, and I took a step back from even thinking about filming. I mean, I have lots of clips of learning, which is great, so I'll share them in this video of like all the clips from the foam pit, the Resi, crashes, and just everything I did to get to land the flip. But I don't actually have any like vlog content because I never used the GoPro. I just I really wanted to do it for myself, as I said, and I didn't really want the pressure of feeling like I needed to vlog it, because I never set myself the goal of doing it in 3 weeks, which is obviously, I'm buzzing that I have, but I kind of set myself a goal that I wanted to do it before Christmas, so I've obviously done it quite a bit quicker than that, but that's kind of why I never vlogged my time of doing it and going to the skate park and stuff, because that would have made it probably into like a much bigger thing. And I think being in the skate park, if I was like vlogging, I already felt quite insecure in the skate park. Like I don't go to skate parks. It was really new for me anyway, and I obviously was a bit nervous about what I was trying to do, so I think me standing there vlogging added in an aspect of me being a bit nervous, and so I just never did that. I feel differently now. I kind of regret that I didn't vlog it, because there was so many cool things that we did, and like it would have been interesting to show that, but yeah, that's how I felt in the moment, so I never did it. But I have loads of clips of learning, and yeah, so if you're interested to know what I did, then enjoy the video. So basically, yeah, I finished the season, got home, and I mean, I've always been interested in wanting to do tricks, but I've never put time into learning them because, you know, I'm a World Cup racer and I need to really focus on that. I think for the person I am, I know that I need to really focus on it if I want to do it, and I didn't want to take the focus away from the racing and the World Cups that I was doing, because at the end of the day, that was the job that I'm doing this year. So when I got home, it was obviously really nice to have a bit of time, and then I decided that I wanted to go to the skate park and learn a flip into the foam pit. Bearing in mind, I've never even flipped on a trampoline myself. I've never done a backflip. I've gone on a trampoline and done a front flip before. I used to do that as a kid, but for some reason as a kid I never did backflips. It's actually always really scared me, which is, maybe it doesn't seem that way, but it really has. Like, I've never been interested in doing that, so I never went to a trampoline park too. I just went straight to the foam pit because I actually felt a bit more comfortable at the idea of learning it on a bike, maybe just because I feel way more comfortable on a bike. So me and Miles, we took my Canyon Stitched, which is such a sick bike, which is cool because I don't get to ride it very much, and we went down to Ramp World in Cardiff, so that was the first time I've been there. So we went in and we ended up spending the whole day there. I was ruined after that day because getting in and out of the foam pit is actually so tiring. And I was so determined to learn a flip that day to the foam pit. But it took me a while to get to that point, I'll not lie. I landed on my head multiple times. That was always like an intrusive thought of mine, was like to go off it, and what if I landed my head in the foam pit? And I did that over and over again. Wasn't that pleasant, but like, yeah, was just part of the process of learning. Even just like breaking the barrier of going off the lip into the foam pit and going back is hard. Like, if anyone is trying to learn a backflip or has tried or has done them, you'll know that like sometimes almost just breaking that barrier of going onto your back is actually really hard. It's so unnatural and scary to do that if you're used to riding bikes normally. So that was like hard to get used to, but it was actually really cool because I ended up meeting like a few other people there who were using the foam pit, and they were so nice, like other mountain bike or dirt jump riders, and it was just so sick. Like one of them was learning flips into the foam pit as well, and then he ended up doing it to the Resi that day, so that was just so sick to watch. So yeah, after that day I got to the point where I was doing flips into the foam pit, and I was so buzzing with that. Like, me and Miles were both just so stoked leaving because I really didn't know how it was going to go, and I think Miles also didn't know how it was going to go because I've really never done anything like this.
Yeah!
We both like weren't quite sure if I'd get to that point in that session of like actually doing a flip into the foam pit. So I was stoked, and that really just like got me hyped up to want to go back to the foam pit. So we had, I think it was like 5 days later or something, I went back to Cardiff with Miles, which was, he's supported me throughout this whole thing. He knew that like I really wanted his support and like guidance and like through it, even though he doesn't do flips, like it's really helpful having someone there to like let you know how it looked or film it or like kind of just support as well. Like, it's obviously scary, and I just wanted to go back for that session to, you know, brush up on what I'd learned on the last session. I did say to Miles, like, I'm not going because I'm gonna flip the Resi, although like I'll not lie, in my head like I did believe in that session I could get to that point, and I wasn't ruling it out. I just said I'm not putting that pressure on myself, but I definitely did want to flip the Resi. And then we ended up spending like a bit of time back in the foam pit. I was landing flips pretty much perfect over and over again into the foam pit, and I kind of knew at this point like the next step is to do it to the Resi. Like, I could go home today and then come back another day, but you know, I was landing them over and over again into the foam pit. I did know, like, as long as I commit and I'm up for it, like, it's time to, I might as well try it on the Resi. And yeah, ended up, I was so scared though. Like, I was sitting at the top of the Resi for a bit, really just like, it just looks so different than the foam pit, even though like the ramp is the same, the takeoff is the same. It just, staring at it was so scary. And eventually, like, a few people beside me were really hyping me up, like, come on, you can do it, because people were already saying to me like, Resi, Resi, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And I went for it, which was sick, and I got it, and I flipped the Resi, and then I kind of feel like I unlocked that, and I was like, right, sick, and I wanted to do more.
Yes! No way!
Then I went for another one. I actually crashed, which was quite good because it took away the kind of elephant in the room of crashing on the Resi. Like, you know, everyone knows that that's a possibility, and then I did it, and I was like, right, it wasn't fun, but it was fine. And then ended up doing, I think in total I tried another 9 flips to the Resi and landed every one, and I was so buzzing. So I went home like so stoked. I was like, I've just done 10 flips to the Resi. So I really felt like I had unlocked like the flip on the Resi. So obviously by this point I was just so happy and really focused on like starting to think about wanting to do it on my downhill bike. Because at the end of the day, the goal was in the future that I wanted to do it on my downhill bike. It's like sick doing it on dirt jump bikes, but obviously I ride mountain bikes, ride downhill bikes.
Headbanger.
Then it was a couple of days later, maybe it was, no, I ended up, I'm trying to remember this whole story. Then I ended up getting really ill, which sucked. And I had like over a week off because I just was weak. Like, I wasn't able to eat most of the week. And that really annoyed me because I mean, shit happens, I guess, but I really wanted to like keep the momentum going, which like I felt like I was like, oh, I'm gonna have forgotten how to do it because I took like over a week off since the last session, and I was supposed to go back to the skate park, but then I obviously couldn't. So then by the time I was able to ride again and feeling a bit better, I still wasn't myself. So yeah, I was really low on energy, but I was super keen to just get back to the skate park because I wanted to keep it all fresh. And Greystone, I think that's what it's called, won another skate park. So we went there and that place was sick. It was so good. It had like two options into the foam pits, like a steeper ramp and then like a normal ramp, and then obviously the foam pit, and then it had a Resi next to it. It had a huge skate park as well that we didn't even go into. So I did some flips to the foam pit there, then went straight to the Resi, was flipping the Resi fine again, which really helped my confidence because I was a bit gutted after being ill, but it didn't actually really affect it at all. I felt fine. But because it had a steeper run in to the foam pit, I took my downhill bike in and decided, well, this is a perfect opportunity to try and flip it into the foam pit, because I thought because of the steeper ramp, I might be able to pick up enough speed. Bearing in mind though, my downhill bike was not set up for it. Like, I didn't do anything different. It's my full race setup, like double Mary, like same suspension. Like, yeah, I didn't like put the bars up or anything. Like, it was just my race setup.
It's not entirely sure this is gonna go, but it is a foam pit, so let's try it.
And then went for it, flipped my downhill bike pretty much almost perfectly, like into the foam pit. So I was so stoked on that because it was just really nice to get the feeling of flipping the downhill bike. Although it was on the skate park ramp, which, yeah, I'll get to that part of the story, is different. But I was still really buzzing on that, and did a few into the foam pit really well, was feeling good. Although the feeling was different on the downhill bike. It was obviously nice to do it into the foam pit. And then I just decided to try it to the Resi, but the problem with the downhill bike, obviously it rolls so slowly, and the run-in for the Resi doesn't have the like taller run-in. I had to like start all the way back. Luckily this place there was a bit of a run-in, and I sprinted in, pumped down the landing to get the speed. For the Resi, and I ended up flipping it on my downhill bike, which I was so stoked on, and Miles found so funny because it's like, yeah, it's not that easy to flip the downhill bike on the Resi full race spec. So I was so stoked that day when we left that I'd flipped my downhill bike. I mean, the next step is I wanted to actually do it to a jump outside, but I took that as such a win in that day. Like, it felt so good to do that, and really felt like I'd got to the next step. And I guess this is where I started to, I got quite excited after this, and I ended up, I had originally planned to maybe go up to Dyfi the next few days and try it on the ramp, which now in hindsight was way too keen at that time because I'd only done it on a skate park ramp, which is so steep and different than jumping, for instance, the ramp at Dyfi. I did not know that, and ended up going up and trying it the next day because I just felt so in the moment of, oh, I don't want to forget what I did yesterday, I want to keep it really fresh. I was just so excited, and yeah, Miles came up with me the next day to Dyfi, and yeah, here's the clips of me trying it to the ramp.
Oh! I'm okay. I needed to get that out of the way. I knew that was going to happen. Sorry.
Did not go to plan. I guess at this moment was so inexperienced, did not have a clue that this
Good
ramp
fail.
would feel and be so different to flipping the one in the skate park. It's just the skate park one gives you so much more, and you know, this jumps like at Dyfi, like this ramp doesn't. You need to pull a lot more. It's just so different, and also adding in doing it on a downhill bike, which is already a bit more gnarly and hard. Yeah, this day really knocked my confidence because I just was so keen and I had the confidence to do it. Obviously I was pulling for it and going upside down, and it's not nice hitting the ground either. Like, I know it's mulch, but yeah, wasn't enjoyable. That really knocked my confidence, and after the fourth go, I did 4 goes and crashed all of them. I like decided to have a sit down, have a snack, and I was like, I need a bit of a break. It was me that was saying that I want to keep doing it. No one was pressuring me into doing it. It was me that wanted to. But then after having a sit, I knew in my head, okay, I think it's time to just like call it a day and have a think of like what's going wrong, because I just felt like something was wrong. Obviously because I was crashing and not making it. So I also went home pretty gutted that day, of just like confused as to what I was doing wrong. And yeah, we realised that the next thing I should have really done was to go to an airbag with a different type of ramp that's not like the skate park and try and jump it there. So that day I texted, I think it was that day, I can't remember what day it was, but very soon, it was either like that day or the next day, I asked Vero if I could use her airbag, because I forgot that she had an airbag. I've never actually been over to her jumps and her airbag, and we went for an e-bike ride not long ago and she mentioned about the airbag. So that really should have been the step after the skate park, but I've learned that's, you know, was a bit of a silly mistake, but it's all part of the story.
Easy.
So I ended up going over to hers very soon after that, and was sick, had such a fun morning with her and Chaos, and we were just all playing on the airbag. And then I just got like lots of flips in on the airbag, which I'd never done once on an airbag, obviously, on my downhill bike. So I really got my confidence back up. Was feeling good because I was feeling pretty low about doing it and pretty scared, to be honest. Like the Saturday of doing those crashes really put me off a bit. Not put me off, I didn't want to do it, but put me off in the way of like self-doubt, because I was being so confident before this that I hated that knocked my confidence and made me doubt myself. So that was really nice to get through that, and yeah, it was so kind of her to let me come over. But we had a really, really fun time, and yeah, hopefully some more sessions soon over on the airbag. I need to learn some new tricks. And then that afternoon, I did kind of have in my head that if I was feeling really good that afternoon and I'd flipped the downhill bike a few times the airbag, like feeling comfortable, that I would be keen to go up to Dyfi and do a run in to see how I feel going into the ramp, just to keep it so fresh. But I didn't put that pressure on myself. But I left stoked, and I said to Miles, look, I just want to go straight to Dyfi and do it. Like, I'm feeling really good. I think especially after the Saturday, I really wanted for that for myself. So we did, but when we were driving over, the weather was outrageous. It was so bad, like horrendous rain, and Miles kept looking at me. I can tell he was like probably wanting to say like, this isn't a good day to do this, but I know he knew I really wanted to do it, and he was just obviously supporting anything I wanted to do. And he did say like, obviously this isn't the best conditions for this, and I was like, no, I know, let's just go up, let's just see how it feels. And so I went up, and it was just outrageous weather, so bad. And I pushed up and went through the jumps a few times, but the jumps were really hard to clear that day because, well, I was on my own, it was a bit windy, it was wet, and yeah, I was pedaling in, and I'm not the best at the moment at pedaling on flats, just as I've moved to flats. I mean, I used to ride flats all the time, but the sprinting on flats is so different to clips. So when I'm sprinting on flats, I just do not feel as powerful. I think I just need to work on my technique of sprinting on flats, and obviously the middle jump before the ramp, you need to sprint for in those conditions, especially when you're like my size and weight as well, like to carry the speed. Because before, I forgot to mention, when I was doing it on the Saturday when I crashed, I was actually starting from the jump before and sprinting in, because that's what I've seen other people do. But I decided on this day I wanted more speed, and I think that was like a problem just because of the conditions. So I was like, nah, I can't start on that jump before. It was running slow. I need to do the whole line. Because it wasn't even an option for me really in my head that, oh, well, it's running slow, maybe like you shouldn't do it today. My next thought was, well, if it's running slow, then all I need to do is I just need to jump the whole line in and I'll get the speed. So that's what I did, pushed up, rode the full line a bit, was clearing the mulch jump perfectly. And so I did know in my head, like, this is the time to do it, but I was unbelievably scared. Like, I was so in my own head. Obviously, it was just me and Miles up there. Yeah, I just felt really like in my own head because I was nervous about doing it again. And I don't think those conditions help that feeling when it's just like cold, it was freezing, it was raining. I was just like, oh no, this is like, I just want to do it now that I've like done it to the airbag and I'm feeling good, and after having such a confidence knock. So I pushed up again. I think I'd gone through it twice, just jumping it, and making sure I had the speed to jump the middle one. I was actually quite concerned about clearing the middle jump in those conditions on the flats, but I was clearing it fine. So I pushed up again, and yeah, I remember just sitting at the top, like really trying to get myself psyched up for it. And I knew like once I started pedaling and going and jumping, I'll just be thinking about clearing that middle jump. So I did. I just left. This chair's very squeaky. So then I just left the top, pedaled in, cleared the first one, sprinted, cleared the middle one, and by the time I knew it, I was just coming into the ramp and just thought like, right, just go for it, just pull. And I was kind of saying to myself like, yep, this is it, like you've got the speed, you know you want to do it. And it was all kind of like, to be fair, I don't actually really remember doing it in a way, but I remember landing it because that was my first go at it that day, and I landed it. And I actually got it really good. I was so stoked when I seen the video.
Let's go! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Because it's so hard to know actually how it was, because I actually over-rotated a bit. You'll see in the clip that like I rotate slightly. I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm really happy with it. But I wasn't sure, because when I came around and I knew I was over-rotating a bit, I was like, no! And then I landed it and I was like, no way. Have I actually just done it? And then, me and Miles were just so buzzing after that. Like, we just had this moment of just like, he was so happy for me. I mean, he's obviously watched me in the last, I mean, it's not been that long, but the last 3 weeks of really wanting to do this. I've just been so determined to do it. So I think it was just like, it meant a lot for him as well, because he knew how much I wanted to do it. And I actually got like quite emotional when I did it, just because it was just like such a nice moment of like, I really set that goal for myself of something that I believed I could do in that time. And I was just, I thought about it a lot, so I was really stoked that I landed it. And pretty buzzing. And now would like to learn some more tricks and keep working on my backflip. And I'd like to get to a point where I'm feeling pretty comfortable on them. But that's a wee story of me learning to backflip my nano bike. Kind of random, but really, really stoked. And I'm so grateful as well for the support I've had when I posted it on Instagram. It was obviously a bit of like a surprise to a lot of people, because I guess it's quite random from me. I've not done anything like this before, and so many people have reached out to me and been so kind and supportive. And like every single message I get, I do see. Like, I sometimes can't always respond to all of them, but like it really does mean a lot to me that like just the comments and the support I've had through it, especially like off the back of quite a hard season. Like, if you've watched some of my vlogs this year, like haven't had the most smooth season, so this was just really nice, and I feel like I needed it just for myself, just a little bit of confidence boost, I guess. But also I'm really interested in this type of thing, and I want to progress in it. So expect a bit more of this type of content. I mean, not me sat in a chair. Hopefully I'll have actually vlogged what I'm doing. But maybe hopefully some more tricks, but I'm gonna need a bit more time. Because having a little bit of time off now, that was quite an intense 3 weeks. And I've got normal people life things to do too. But thank you for watching, and probably next vlog will be some sort of training, or because I actually really need to start properly training now. It's not really off season anymore. But thank you for watching. Bye!